All right, welcome back to another installment of Pioneers, Builders in the City of Jacksonville, or as we like to call it, PB and Jax. As always, we like to explore conversations with entrepreneurs, nonprofits, influential people, or anybody else that's carrying the city forward. In this case, in this episode, we have somebody that ticks all four of those boxes. We have an entrepreneur, somebody driving nonprofit causes, influential, and pulling the city forward. I'm very happy to announce Darrin Eakins is going to be the guest on the show today. And Mr. Darrin Eakins, welcome. And thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. We've been talking about this forever.
Yeah.
But now we're coming off the heels of a big win. I was there. I was so proud to be there too. I saw when they announced, they brought everybody up to the front for the Small Business Leader of the Year. Every council had their representative. You were representing Next Step Jax. And then they called your name.
Yeah.
And I saw you really take a moment.
Yeah.
Why? What did it mean to you?
Oh, man. Well, first, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here and kind of share my story. It meant everything. I mean, I know that sounds cliche, if you will, but, I was always asked how, what about this particular award? What does it mean to you? And of course, the recognition, that's great, right? But just the visual that small brands or emerging brands could compete with some of the biggest and the best out there. I think that to me was the kind of breathtaking moment away. I just thought about all the cohort, all the things that they do. We have an amazing class, but to be called, I was not expecting it, but to be called, it was a moment for sure.
Okay. I'm going to rewind to the beginning of this story, but just the fact that this is so fresh. If you're being honest with yourself and you say you didn't expect to win, you don't have to pick one, but who were some of the names that you were like, man, it would make a lot of sense if they did?
Well, the thing is, I didn't know too much about the other cohort going into it. It was the process that got me, right? And so going in, you had your interview. It's the former SBLY, Small Business Leader of the Year. And they interview, and I thought I did relatively well, right? Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. But leading up to the breakfast, they didn't announce who the winner would be. They just happened to, one of our cohort members, they sent an email like, does the winner have to write a speech? And then the chamber wrote back, yep, the winner has to write a speech. And so it's like, this is maybe a day before the event. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll write a speech just in case. As we're at the breakfast, I had two members of my cohort, they're pulling out their speech, kind of making changes in real time. And I'm like, maybe they won, because they're already prepared. They must have told them, be prepared for the. And so, in my mind, I'm just like, whoever wins, definitely support them. It's not about you. It's about this. And so when my name was called, I was completely already mentally thinking about supporting someone else, vice, looking at myself. So it wasn't even about what those other companies were doing. It was just that mental process of accepting an award that you thought you probably weren't going to get. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. What was the feeling of being bum rushed afterwards? I couldn't even see you anymore. You were just getting swallowed up by everybody.
No, it was surreal. It was a cool moment. I think just some of the conversations, because everyone's kind of like telling me what they did, asking for, coffee, let's just meet. I have a business. I did an interview, with a Daily Record. It was just, it was surreal. It felt like 10 seconds, but it was probably like an hour just like dialogue between different people. But it was great. It was great.
Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. The company that you used to represent your time with Next Up and for the Small Business Leader of the Year award was your whiskey brand, DuBlasé.
Yeah.
So maybe let's go to the origin story there. There's so many different avenues we need to unpack. So let's just start with the main. The main topic generator, which is the whiskey.
Yeah.
How did this come to be?
Goodness. We're going to have to go back probably to 2017.
Okay.
At the time, I co-owned a semi-pro basketball team in the ABA. And around 2018, Hennessy became the official sponsor of the NBA. And so just doing business development, I'm like, how can I tap into some of that spirits revenue? And so I was on a quest to find anybody that I knew in the industry. Obviously I didn't. And so I reached out to my dad, and my father said, reach out to your uncle. He does something with wine in Ohio. Okay. That's my first lead. So I go dive right into it, reach out to him. He's like, well, I don't really have a product to market, but I enjoy making it. Right. So he's a chemist by trade. So I go to Ohio, and I'm thinking I'm going to learn a ton. And it turned into just a full out chemistry session. We're talking pH balances of things. He's taking me in his lab. We're trying out different ingredients and seeing how things pair. And so I immediately was like, it locked into my engineering brain. And so I was like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of this industry. And then from there, just, a couple years later, had my own brand. So
yeah, there's a dad joke in there somewhere,
Yeah.
like a chemist and an engineer walk into a bar to make whiskey. There's got to be something in there.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
If you think of distillation, it's all chemistry.
Yeah.
The whole art of whether you're at a brewery making beer, whether you're in a winery doing wine, or a distillery making distilled spirits, it's all chemistry.
Yeah, man. Well, it started as a family business. You went up there, you worked with your uncle, you walked away thinking, I'm about to make some whiskey.
To make some whiskey. And it's, and when you're going in completely raw, completely green, there's a quick learning curve that you have to have. Obviously bourbon and whiskey are, one of America's, treasures, I would say. And so, it's been a special ride, and we've done really well so far.
It also has a cult following, man. If you don't do it well, they let you know.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah. They will let you know. And I experienced some of that. I experienced some of that. When we first launched. I experienced some good, some bad, and it all kind of goes into who we are now.
What's behind the name? I know that it's got special meaning.
Absolutely. So DuBlasé, it's actually a play on words. And so I pledged fraternity in college, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And so I didn't want to make it about the fraternity itself. I didn't want to make it about any particular one thing. I didn't want to make it about my line name or anything that's real, too specific to me. And so what I chose to do was with my line number. So I was the number 11 on my line. The ace is the number 1 on the line is typically the ace. And so since I was 11, I'm the double ace. Okay. And so it's a play on words. If you look at it closely, DUBL, double, and then ace. So I turned the C into an S, and there you got DuBlasé. So it's double ace, and it's means the number 11. And then I represent on the medallion in the front, there's 12 edges. And so there was 12 members on my line. So they give us representation in there as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's more to this story. So we got the name, we got the origin, so we know where, you got the idea to make it. You brought it back home, and then there's a whole process that goes into distillation and bottling and distribution.
Yeah.
I know that some of that is done locally as well. You have a partnership with Manifest.
Absolutely.
So talk through, you've established the name, the brand, essentially the way that the brand's going to come across. You have an idea of the recipe. After you came home, how do you get it from idea to now we're in the distribution phase? Walk in the middle there.
Absolutely. So basically once I created the recipe, then we have to go get it approved by the government, right? So we have our regulatory agency, the TTB. And so we submit. And hopefully they have to test it themselves, obviously, because you're talking consumption from consumers. And so we want to make sure everything's safe. They want to make sure everything is from the label. I mean, their rules are very, very in depth, as you can imagine. And so once we had the recipe, then we got the approval of the recipe, then we could begin looking into mass production. So my first distillery was actually out of Claremont. And so we launched with that distillery out of Claremont. And then I was probably with them for maybe a year and a half. Did some good runs, but I was looking to kind of up it up a little bit. From a label perspective, we've had 4 different labels. Same design, but chose different production to kind of get better and better and better and better with how it's presented to the consumer. And so I was doing an event I was sponsoring the Culture Council Arts Awards. I believe this was 2021, 2022. It was pandemic time. And Manifest was there. They were also a sponsor. And, we shared the bar together. This is my first time really meeting them. And I said, hey, my name is Darrin. I have this brand, this. By chance, do you bring in outside brands for production? And they looked at me and said, well, we've done it before, so let's have a conversation. And I sent them an email that night, and we got the partnership going. So very happy to be with Manifest now. I think they embody what I embody from a production and a craft standpoint, also from a quality standpoint. So kind of went from there. So recipe creation, approval, production partner, now distribution. So finding distribution is probably one of the hardest in the spirits industry. I think creating a product may be the easiest part. Production or distribution is one of the toughest because it's a 3-tier system. So you have your brand owner, supplier, manufacturer, and the second tier is distribution, and your third tier is retail. So we have to go through a distributor for distilled spirits. And so it could be rough because you have to find somebody who believes in you. They don't know you. You have a new brand that doesn't have any data to back it, and it's a competitive market. So why you? And so luckily we found some good distribution partners.
Good.
Yeah.
I know that you have to go through distribution for retail. Do bars and restaurants get lumped into retail as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to go through distribution regardless.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So those bars, retails, on premise and off premise, they'll purchase from the distributor.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has to go through that 3-tier process.
So how long has it been since you sold the very first bottle of DuBlasé?
So it'll be 5 years, May 20.
Okay. Wonderful, dude.
May 20.
So tying us back to the SBLY thing, when they were going through nominating you for Next Step Jacks, first and foremost, and then against the other, was it 10 councils?
Yeah.
Is it 11 total? What goes into the award, to your knowledge? Is it revenue generation? Is it employees? Is it your representation in the community? Like whenever they nominate you and pick the SBLY, the total SBLY.
Right.
Does brand, like how long you guys have been around matter? Like do you have any idea?
Yeah, so a lot of it actually has to do with the individual itself. So the person behind the brand. So it's more of a leadership award as well, not just from a company standpoint. So what are you doing in the community? How are you being a leader? What what circumstances or mishaps have you had to deal with, and how did you handle them? And then of course your business. What are you doing? Revenue, but not so much revenue because there's big companies, small companies. And so the range is small business, and that's, I believe they say, from 1 to 5 million.
Annual.
So annual.
Okay.
So you have to meet a criteria, but it's not solely based on revenue. That's just the kind of the basic. But leadership for sure is the number one driver behind the award. And what you're doing and how you're using your business to benefit Jacksonville, to benefit the community and yourself, your family.
Yeah, of course. Okay. No, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
A little bit more on the whiskey stuff. Number one would be, what in the last 5 years since you bottled the first and sold the first bottle, what has been your favorite moment of being the owner of this company?
Wow. You see, I automatically smiled.
Yeah.
Automatically smiled. I think just seeing strangers enjoy it.
Okay.
That is the absolute favorite, my part of it, because you work so hard and you build up the company. And you're working, you sleepless nights, and then you see, you go to one of your accounts and you sit at a table or sit at the bar, and somebody orders off the menu. You go, oh, love, DuBlasé or DuBlasé or they can't get the name right, and they order it, and this is really good, and the bartender or general manager or bar manager is like, that's the owner right there, and they look, and I wave, and I go speak, and it's the best feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the worst moment in the last 5 years?
Just launched. I probably have 2 of them. So
you can say both.
I'll probably keep one.
Okay.
But I do remember we just launched, and I had some members, some friends purchase the bottles, and they were excited. They went in their bourbon group, and just, you guys should try this new whiskey, because at the time my bourbon wasn't ready, so it's just my whiskey at the time, and you should try it. And then the comments were just brutal. The label, is it crooked or is it that? You could just anything you can imagine. People just being consumers. So lesson learned, stay out of the comments.
Hmm.
Appreciate that every consumer has their own view of things. And so what I did appreciate though was I think kind of just some feedback. And so I mentioned I've updated labels. That was part of it. Just so I found another company who provided just a little bit more quality in our labels. And so it's just I call it product development. So for the past 5 years, we've just been building and building and building and building, getting it right. And so we're here. We're here now. So yeah.
You're just taking feedback.
Oh yeah.
And then kind of iterating over the years, which as an engineer, you should know how to iterate.
You have to. You have to. I was at one of our locations, and it's a speakeasy in town, one of the more popular speakeasies. And we're great friends. I think they were like one of my first 2 accounts. And so I said, Darrin, it's dark in here. Sometimes it's hard to see the font on your front label. I said, okay. Note to self, put that in my for the next iteration. And it's just to see where it is now, it's great. And so super happy with it.
That's
super
great,
happy
man.
with it. Yeah.
We'll wrap up the whiskey part and dive into something else. But since we're here talking about it, why don't you kind of share what these 2 options are and what all you provide?
Sure. So currently we have 2 products. We're working on our 3. Our next 3 will be finished this year. So our first is our vanilla whiskey. It's a 70 proof, 100% corn, a vanilla kind of style whiskey. Fun thing about this one, we don't use typical vanilla extract. It's not syrupy. It's not a synthetic. It's not thick. This one's going to go down like water. And so we steep a vanilla bean in the water for about 30 days or longer, a little bit longer. And then we blend that into the whiskey. So it's super natural. Sometimes you can kind of get some sediment. It's a very fun. It's actually one of our fan favorites. Our consumers love this one. On accounts love this one also because it's not a lot of sugar content in it. And so they can do fun things with it. So that's a fan favorite. And then we have our straight bourbon whiskey. This one's a 90 proof, and our mash bill is a little bit different on this one. So this has a little bit more rye in there versus this one's kind of corn based. And so that one is special for your bourbon drinkers. And then the next 3 coming out are just age variations of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when I was at Terra Gaucha and I saw it on the bar and I took a picture. I was like, dude, look at what I'm looking at, man.
Yeah. That's the most. It's a great feeling. I might get them. One of my friends literally just happened this past weekend. They're on the base in Georgia, Augusta, an Army base, and they're talking to their friends. They go to a store and they're telling their store manager about the GM of the store about me. And she goes, I'm going to try to get him in all the bases, and all the exchanges. And so I was it's a great feeling to see people enjoy it and people reach out to other friends because that's how it works. It's all word of mouth and of course marketing. But
how many places are you in Jacksonville?
I don't even know. It's up there now. It's up there. It's I'll say from off premise. Got your Total Wines, got your Golden Ox, their chain, got your Prudential Club, San Marco.
You got the bars and restaurants, man.
Then your bars and restaurants, pretty much your fine dining locations. If you like a nice meal with a nice cocktail, you'll probably see DuBlasé there. So yeah, we have a number of locations.
So it's fair to say that if somebody just goes out in Jacksonville to any location, not any, but just in general, they go place to place to place to place over the course of a year.
Yeah.
They're pretty much guaranteed to come across DuBlasé.
They got a good chance.
Yeah.
Got a good chance.
Now, how does that feel?
That's the second best feeling because it's really hard to get in locations. It's not like, hey, I'm a winner of an award. Try my whiskey. They're like, it's a lot more that goes into it. And being a emerging brand, it's even more difficult because obviously, food and beverage industry it's a tough industry, right? And we see, restaurants that have been around for 10 years closing down. And so we understand that margins are important. And so your top 200 brands, they're going to help with those margins. And so when they have a new brand, it's like, well, is it going to sell? Who knows about you? So they're thinking about all those things. And so when we land an account, it's almost like a celebration, And so we're very honored to be in a lot of accounts in the city, in the surrounding community. We do some hard work, but yeah.
My question really is focused on you care about this city so much.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know you and just gets online would probably see that, but anybody that knows you knows you love this city.
Yeah.
So to be in all of these places that you probably once dined in or once had a drink in or
Yeah.
hung out with your friends in.
Yeah.
You can now look on the shelf and see your own bottle on display. That's the feeling I want to know.
It's really it's a I don't even know how to. I'm almost lost for words seeing it. Like I said, being a native, Jacksonville. I mean, you get in an account, people, the strangers try it. When you land the account, the reorder when they're super happy with it, get on the menu. And so like those key steps, I mean, man, it's an amazing feeling, especially knowing how hard it is for brands and to see us be successful. It's pretty.
Yeah. I remember when we met the night before Think Bold. I had no idea who I was meeting, by the way. You had no idea who you were meeting.
Right.
We just happened to be the two first people there. We were early. And with the amount of stuff that I now know that you have and the amount of stuff that you now know that I have, it's kind of wild that we were the ones that were there early.
Yeah.
And
it makes sense in a way.
In a way.
It makes sense.
In a way.
Yeah.
But I remember I was like, hey, I'm Randall. Nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm Darrin. Nice to meet you. And you underplayed everything about you.
Always.
And you know, I was doing PB and Jack's live at the Think Bold VIP mixer dinner, whatever you want to call it. And at the end of the night, unbeknownst to me, Troy and Mo, who put on Think Bold, were handing out these awards. And when they were handing them out, they gave a little story in advance, but they were like, you know, this young man is in a business that's hard to break. And, you know, when you're an up and comer, it's even more difficult. And this dude just, you know, he perseveres and perseveres and perseveres. We want to give this impact award to Darrin Eakins. And I was like, I just met this man. He's walking with his big, like gold record.
Plaque.
Yeah. How did that feel? What was that like? What was going through your head? And how cool is it to have that plaque on your wall? 'Cause I want to get one day.
That plaque is amazing. It's in my office. And so whenever I have my virtual calls, they see the plaque. You know, I have awards and all these other, but they're going to see the plaque because it's just special. But that moment was truly awesome for me because, you know, as we talk throughout, you know, today, you'll see how much impact actually means to me. Vice having the biggest business or being known for the best whiskey or something like that. I think impact is really what I'm all about. And so to get that award and to be recognized, I didn't know that was coming either. You know, I was a sponsor of the event. We've partnered with them for many years. You know, they were one of the original, you know, groups that were believing in the brand and wanted to do anything they could to get the name out there. To see their support of the brand, that was awesome. That was also, that was another award that I did not think I was going to get, but super, super appreciative that they see the impact that we do. That's awesome.
So part of that award was impact, perseverance from the whiskey brand. Mm-hmm. But the impact part is because DuBlasé is not just a whiskey company, it's a foundation. So for anybody that is unaware, what is the foundation about? And, you know, as you discuss impact, what kind of impact are you trying to make with it?
For sure. So I think that is the hidden gem about DuBlasé. So our motto is whiskey with purpose. Whiskey with purpose. Very simple. And so our purpose is we have a philanthropic arm called the DuBlasé Foundation, completely separate entity, but brother and sister in relationship. And so what our foundation is we champion for a brighter future for students in STEM. So I'm a graduate of Florida A&M University, where I majored in engineering. And so all of this opportunity comes from being able to have a profession where I'm able to be critical thinking. I'm able to provide, you know, for the family from a financial standpoint, but also be around some really amazing thinkers and builders in the city or nationwide, globally even. And so giving back to those students and putting them in positions to where they know about STEM from a field of study. What can you do with STEM? Most people think, you know, they're thinking a doctor, they're thinking the big white coat, the surgeon. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, no, there's so many more things you can do. And so, you know, and I'll get back to all the layers, the pillars of the foundation, but specifically about field of study. So I was requested to do a speaking session at Ribault High School. And it was for juniors and seniors at the school. And our portion was about STEM. And so I asked the boys a question, then asked the girls a question. So I asked the girls, I said, who in here has heard of Fenty Beauty? Every girl raised her hand. Fenty Beauty is Rihanna's beauty brand. And all of them raised their hand, and I said, a scientist made this. All this lip gloss, this eyeliner, all the things that, that are in a beauty brand, a scientist makes those. And Rihanna's a billionaire. And it's just, so they imagine, they see possibilities of, things that they use on a daily basis, right? And so, or that they're familiar with. And so just creating that connection to what could be. So that's one part that we do. And then we provide scholarships to students seeking going to college in STEM fields of study. We send kids to STEM camps and STEM competitions. One of our biggest competitions is the Minecraft Education Build Challenge. And then we do a pipeline to college. So taking kids on college tours or anything of that nature where there's a dean of a university can come to an organization and talk to the students about their particular college. And so just getting kids of all walks of life acclimated to what STEM is all about, not just what they kind of see on TV or what they think STEM could be, but just all the things within STEM field.
How far reaching is that? Taking kids on like a college field trip. Is that a UNF thing, a JU thing? Is that a state of Florida thing? Is that a Southeast region thing?
So thus far to date, it's been all of Florida, open to go to, other states depending on the need. But from a scholarship standpoint, we've had applicants from Detroit. We've had applicants from South Florida, California. And so it's far reaching on the scholarship side. The college visit, probably statewide, just, with parents, and because we partner with a lot of organizations.
The Minecraft event was a really big deal here.
Huge.
And correct me if I'm wrong, was that done in conjunction with the city of Jacksonville?
Yes.
And are you still in the Culture Council, or did I misread that?
So 2 questions. So yes, Minecraft Education is in partnership with the city of Jacksonville and Duval County Public Schools.
Okay.
So DCPS and COJ, and then ourselves. We are the 3 stakeholders and Minecraft Education.
Yeah, of course.
Minecraft.
I could have sworn it was like you were you do something for the city.
Yeah. And so 2 years ago, I was, or maybe a year and a half ago, I was appointed to the Culture Council. I was a mayoral appointee. So I did that for about a year and a half, and it was great. It was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that in conjunction with the Minecraft event at all, or were those 2 separate things?
2 separate things.
Okay.
Yeah, separate things.
So the Minecraft event was brought to the city of Jacksonville, and walk through that because it was such a big deal. What were the kids getting into whenever they showed up? And then I understand you gave a pretty significant reward. So what were they building towards? What was the voting process? Like, what were you voting from best of? And then, walk through what it was like to give that check away.
So Minecraft Education. So I was very new to Minecraft up until, last year before. And so Minecraft is the highest grossing, it's one of the highest selling games of all time. We're thinking about Zelda and Street Fighter, all the things, Super Mario. So Minecraft is up there, right? And so what Minecraft decided to do is they created a education kind of pillar within the game. So there's Minecraft and then there's Minecraft Education. So every student in Duval County Public School has Minecraft Education on their laptop. It's already installed. And so what we did is we partnered with Minecraft Education to build a city, Jacksonville, within the game. So even to this day, any student globally can log into their program and build Jacksonville. It's already built up. So the landmarks, got the bridges, City Hall, the library, all of it's already built up. Now they can build in between. So what the challenge is we have teams of 5, and then they'll participate in a challenge, a prompt. And so one challenge example may be build a sustainable riverfront that can be sustainable to weather, hurricanes, but also fix the wastewater issue, something like that, right? So, and then within that, here's some of the key items that you may need. You may need bike racks. You may need greenery for health foods and non-food deserts. And so it's all educational. It's urban planning. It's so many things that are going into it. So kids get to reimagine what their city looks like. And so the top 2 winners of elementary school, middle school, and high school and college get to compete in the final challenge, which is done at WJCT Soundstage, and that's called the Mayor's Cup. And so the 2 teams will compete against each other, and the winner gets scholarships, they get laptops, some other fun things, some gifts from Minecraft Education. And it's just an amazing event to see those kids in real time build what they believe Jacksonville looks like.
And
It's one of those.
it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got to give away some money.
Yeah. So overall, we gave away $10,000, and then another 5,000 in prizes. Yeah, I can just imagine being a second grader getting $500. Like,
That'd be
what?
crazy.
Yeah. Just to reimagine it and build something significant, for your city.
Have you thought about what it would be like if not a kid, maybe a kid now, but a 19-year-old walks up to you and says, Darrin, I just want you to know that you're the reason I went to college. Have you thought about that?
No. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to claim it that it does happen one day.
Oh, it'll happen. I'm just saying, have you put any thought into what it's going to feel like when it does?
No. I haven't. But I've had something similar happen. I used to coach basketball at Impact Christian Academy in 2016, 2017, 2018. Right before I got into semi-pro basketball. So one of my players reached out to me because I was coaching JV at the time, the head coach of JV basketball, and he reached out to me on Instagram, I believe, and he says, "Coach, what's your number when I text you?" So I was like, of course, what you need. He says, "I'm looking to graduate, but I need an internship to graduate." I was like, "Okay, what's your major?" And he said, "Business administration with a minor in sports management." I said, "Okay, well, I know people at the Iceman. I know people at the Jaguars. I know people here." He stops. "Coach, no. I want to intern with you." What?
Mm.
Internship? Like, what does that look like? And so now I'm Googling this and that. And so I was like, well, do me a favor. On Monday, go to your college, go to your career professional center, and get the criteria for the company. He does. He sends it to me. Check. Okay, I can do this. I submit to his college, Fordham University. I submit the business to be one of the companies that could, offer internships for their students, and was approved. They approved our curriculum, and he was our first intern for the company. That just happened this past year. He just graduated in December.
Yeah, so you're the reason somebody graduated college.
That's deep.
Yeah. And now somebody's going to tell you one day,
Yeah.
Here's how I envision it.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to say that I got $10,000 when I was 10 years old and I was able to afford X, Y, and Z. Or somebody's going to see you've won umpteen awards for developing a brand that maybe you had no business even developing. You just saw one day that you were like, how do I be a part of that? You ventured off the beaten path. And somebody might say, like, I just want to follow in those footsteps. So maybe they go to college to say, I want to be smart like Darrin.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
That'd knock you up, like off your feet, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but that's why I do it, right? And so I tell people, DuBlasé is the vehicle. Impact is the purpose, right? And so it's one of those moments that you see all the things kind of go as together, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's impact, whether it's the community, whether it's leadership, just helping out. You can't.
Yeah. As you move these things along, the foundation, the DuBlasé Whiskey brand, all the other things that you have your hands in at the moment, at some point you're gonna have to hang it up. So either you're gonna retire or life's gonna force you to hang it up. Something's gonna happen.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not for 50 years.
Correct.
But when it is time to hang it up, what would you have liked to achieve?
This was one of the questions. And so as I equate everything to sports, so sports obviously is a big part of my life outside of STEM engineering. I want my jersey in the rafters and be known for impact. That's what I want to be known for. Not having the biggest whiskey brand. If that happens, check.
Yeah.
Great. But when it's all said and done, lights go off. I want to be known for the impact that I had.
And it's clearly, if you want your jersey in the rafters of life impact, this is a legacy play.
definitely a legacy play. Legacy play for me, and it's something I want to pass down to generations. It's something that I feel I kind of did it in my own way, right? And so everyone can lead and impact in their own way. I feel like, either whether it be sports, whether it be spirits, whether just being a leader in the community, that's my.
Do you have kids?
Yes, one.
So, I mean, there's a very clear path to the legacy, right? Passing
Yes.
it down.
Absolutely.
Okay. How old's your kid? This is brand new.
Baby.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to ask, are you still engineering?
Yep, still engineering too. Yeah.
Full time?
Full time.
Okay.
I get this question all the time. Like, how do you
But
do it?
somebody's going to want me to ask this, which is you are a full-time engineer. You are a full-time brand owner. You're a full-time foundation leader. You are involved in the city. You are involved in everything. And now you're a father.
Time.
When I asked you this the first time, you told me it was systems. I love that answer.
Yeah.
But how did you build these systems out, and how do we all get the same 24 hours, Darrin?
Yeah. Yep.
How are you packing everything into 24?
I think that is a great question.
How much of it are you outsourcing?
So some of it from the production side, that's pretty much all outsourced, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not physically making the whiskey, that's all outsourced, right? But systems, right? And so the thing is, you mentioned we all have the same 24 hours, which is true, but it depends on how you look at your 24 hours, right? Required for me from my engineering is 8 hours per day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, right? 8. You have 16 hours left? All right.
You do.
You have 16 hours left.
Ideally, 8 of them sleep. I don't think you're getting 8.
You can get 8 if you want, or you can get 5. Let's say you take 5 away with sleep. Now you're at 11? What are you doing with your
You're
next
at 13.
Or 13. What do you?
Yeah, with 11 left.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing now? What are you doing now?
So do you commute to work?
Yes.
Let's say 30 and 30.
30 and 30.
That's another hour.
Yep.
So you've baked in 14. You have 10 to go.
10 to go.
Okay.
How are you using your 10? And that's the key to me. And so when you're dealing with systems, not every day you have to use your 10, your last 10 for all the businesses, right? You can do 5 on this business, 5 on this business. You can really compartmentalize it to where now your 24 hours has become 2 work days if you think about it, right? And so now I'm working 2 shifts out of 1 day or 3 shifts out of 1 day because how I'm doing my business, right? And so 8-hour shift is full time. I do 4 hours each business.
So what bucket does this fall in, this conversation? Obviously, it's not the engineering bucket.
Yeah, no, this is the entrepreneur bucket for sure. This is our entrepreneur bucket. And the thing about, with me, I run lean, right? And so I like to be around experts. So instead of, it's, hey, I have this idea. That's great that you have the idea, but I also need you to execute it, right? So you telling me the idea is like, okay, I have to execute. So it's really, it's about those systems that you create, the environment, the business environment, even if it's the nonprofit. What are we doing? Who's writing the grants? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? And so just one, have an extraordinary team. I can't thank them enough. Just being able to work with them, whether it's our production partners, whether it's the board or the foundation. We have some great people around us. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of boards, how many board seats are you sitting on right now?
So 3 at the moment. I was on the Culture Council. I termed off the Culture Council board. I termed off of for the Excellence Fest. I was on that board as well. So I'm currently on Jack's Chamber board.
Okay. That's a big board.
That's a big.
That's a lot of boards.
Yeah.
Like a lot of board chairs.
Yeah,
seats.
That's a big board. I'm also on Level the Playing Field Leadership Academy.
Okay.
Which is one of my favorite organizations in the city.
Not even familiar with it.
Oh my goodness! So this organization is ran by Lonnie and Gian Martz.
I know Lonnie Martz, the second, the football player.
Yep.
Yeah. His son has been on PB and Jax.
Nice. Oh yeah, his father, former Jaguar. Amazing man. So this foundation is all about helping young boys from father-absent homes. And it's one of the most dynamic organizations in this city. I mean, they're going on camps. They're teaching the boys how to surf in the ocean. I probably didn't get in the ocean until I was, I don't know, 12. These boys are starting early, learning how to swim in the ocean with instructors. So it's mentor based.
Is there an age range?
So they start in, I believe they start around 10, 9 or 10, and they're in the program all the way up until 21. So not until you're 18, they even follow you till you're 21.
Wow.
So yeah, so they're on the third cohort right now.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
When we get done, you got to introduce me. I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, that
Okay.
it's
I would love to be a part of that.
it's one of the ones.
People don't know this. I grew up fatherless. So that would mean something to me.
Yeah, no. This one is special.
That would mean something to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So
This is one I don't want to term off, but if they ask me, like, can I do another?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
let me be an
special.
advisor
Yeah,
or whatever.
please,
Like
let me
that's
be
what.
around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Chamber.
Yeah.
Leadership program.
Yeah.
And then there was a third one.
DuBlasé Foundation, and then I just accepted a board seat. I can't name what it is yet, but it's coming in May, and that'll be really good.
Can you name like what they do? Or
Finance,
would that give it away?
finance.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be 4 boards.
4 boards.
4 boards, 87 jobs,
87 jobs. Yeah.
37 places to be in a city as big as Jacksonville. I would say for somebody that's busy, if the one thing I could do to really like get more done in the day
Yeah.
is to like substantially reduce my commute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting from downtown to south side to Nocatee to the west side, it's like if you go to all these different meetings in Jacksonville, like you could put 2-3 hours of car drive time in there.
For sure. And for me, a lot of the stuff I'm doing, I can operate from a laptop, right? And that's the beauty of the flexibility that I have. Obviously, engineering, I'm in the field. I'm in the office, right? But everything else, I can operate. I'm nimble. I have a very agile work system. So that's been a benefit to me. After those, after that first set of hours, now going to the accounts, checking on the account, that's the time consuming piece. DuBlasé, I would say, is the most time consuming out of all the ventures. But it's also one of the, I guess they're all kind of the most rewarding. So I can't even say that, but it's a special one because it's
cool.
product based. Yeah.
Okay. We talked about the awards that sit on the shelf behind you. We got the Think Bold Award. We now have the Small Business Leader of the Year Award. Really nice trophy, by the way.
It really is nice.
What else is on the shelf?
Oh goodness! So the whiskey brand has won 4 awards.
Has it really?
Yeah, we're award-winning brand. So we can really say that we've won award-winning brand. We've been featured in Forbes.
I did know that.
Yeah. Featured in Forbes, been on ABC.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Goodness. A bunch of, some part of Leadership Jacksonville, Leadership Florida, Hightower Emerging Leadership Fellowship.
When did you do that?
I did Hightower in 2023. I did Leadership Jacksonville 2023.
So somebody in this room has a Hightower interview next week.
Nice.
We're recording this on the 17th. So
nice.
It won't, I think by the time this comes out, the interview will have been done.
But listen, you're going to kill it.
I appreciate that, man.
I
appreciate that very much. Yeah. I am bought into the fact that fellowship is something that is put in place for people in the city who really care about changing the city for the better. And I have about 4 brands that I've been working to build directly in line with that. And so my hope is they see it that way, and then I can help utilize what I learned in the fellowship to forge the path forward.
That's awesome. That's beautiful, because that's the reason why I did it, right? And so I've been invited to join a few different leadership groups now since I've got SBLY, the award. And I always look at, like, what's the impact? Is it just kind of CEOs just kind of talking business? Or is it an
ego play?
Is it ego play? Is it like, what is it? And so, Hightower, Leadership Jacksonville, Leadership Florida, some of the best out there for sure.
Leadership Florida is a big get, dude.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
We didn't even talk about the one I care about the most. Seeing you win 40 under 40 was the coolest damn thing.
Oh yeah.
How'd that feel?
Oh man, that was.
You had excuse my language. You had a shitting grin on your face, man. Like, I saw you smiling, cheesing. You just knew it meant something.
It meant something to me. So, fun fact: I applied to 40 under 40. I think that was my second time. That was my second time applying. There was a time in between the two where I was nominated, but I was butthurt. I was ego driven. I was like, oh, I didn't get it. But, when I did receive it, it was the right time. It was the time for me that I was supposed to be. And so I was very thankful.
I would tell you why I cared so much about you winning 40 under 40. I would love to be 40 under 40 for this exact reason,
Yeah.
but when you say that you want to make an impact,
Yeah.
you and I are so aligned on that. When you have a 40 under 40 moniker next to your name,
Yeah.
good, bad, or indifferent,
Yeah.
when you reach out to somebody to make a difference,
Yeah.
they're more likely to accept that message. Like if you're Darrin Eakins reaching out and they don't know you, they're like,
Yeah.
who's Darrin Eakins?
Right.
If you're Darrin Eakins 40 under 40, they're like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have gotten this for nothing.
Yeah.
I'll accept this message.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that can be done if you're in the same fraternity as somebody. So 10 years can go by and you can be like, I was in this same fraternity at Florida A&M.
Yeah.
We at least have this bond in common. It can work the same way. But when you want 140 under 40, and I knew about the Minecraft thing, I knew about the DuBlasé Foundation.
Yeah.
I said, whatever this dude wants to do, I think he's more likely to be able to do it.
Well, I mean, I think I've been blessed, but you know, some people don't know the story. You know, some people just see whiskey. And so why would a whiskey guy just get an award? And so if you kind of do a deeper dive, you kind of see what we're all about. Because I mean, obviously I'm a quiet guy.
But it forces people to look into it. Like,
For sure.
Why would a whiskey brand be 40 under 40?
Yeah.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to look.
Yeah.
And they'll read it. And I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
This is a Jacksonville thing, and he's got a Jacksonville Foundation, and he's working full time, and he's doing all these things for kids. Then I think they're like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's competitive. It's competitive because I mean, we have some real talent here in Jacksonville, and a lot of people are doing impact. And when you're talking only 40 people per year, it's
only 40 people per year in a town that has 1 million.
So when you put it in perspective, it's, you know, you appreciate it. One award I didn't mention. So I did Jacksonville 40 under 40. I did Florida A&M 40 under 40. That one was special. But this one I received last year was Distinguished Alumni from Florida A&M. That one was, I was the youngest one. I was the youngest person there. And I mean, I'm on there with admirals and like, people just been in the career for 50 years. And it's just like, wow, you know, and they see like what we're doing for the kids going into, you know, that was one of those. So I had to say that one. That was one of those.
That is great.
Yeah.
You want to know something funny about Tallahassee? We have this Tallahassee thing in common. I went to Florida State. I didn't graduate till 2025. So I was 38. I was the oldest person to walk across the stage that day.
Yeah.
And then not around the same time frame, you were accepting a distinguished alumni award for being the youngest. And and I think we're close to the same age.
Yeah, we're definitely close. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah. No, it's been a great ride. And it's kind of grown. It's kind of grown over time. And I did an interview last week, and one of the questions was, you know, do you follow like inspirational leaders, or like who's your mentor? And I was like, well, who did kind of help influence me? Obviously my parents, my family, they're like the catalyst. Like they're the but from a business perspective, I said Irving Magic Johnson. Interviewer, I was like, yeah, I'm his mentee. He doesn't know who I am, but I'm his mentee. I told him I read some of his books. I watch all of his podcasts, watch all of his interviews, and just how he moves from a business perspective, food and beverage, or the sports, his family, his impact in the community. And it's like, that's a good role model for me to definitely look at, because we have similar interest from a entrepreneurial and philanthropy mindset. Dick Johnson.
That's good,
Random.
man. Is there anything about what you do that we've missed? Like, you know, the chess pieces you move. Or, I mean, I know it's a lot, but is there anything that we want somebody to know about that maybe it's not public knowledge?
I don't know. I mean, there's so much, and I don't talk about a lot, so it's pretty good to kind of be able to think, what should I share? But we did speak about Culture Council, right? And so most people don't know that I actually went to the School of the Arts in middle school and high school here, and so the arts is, you know, a huge part of my background, my DNA. I always say arts in my DNA. Being able to help the art community. So I did our first project for the foundation outside of Minecraft was actually a placemaking.
Yes. Okay.
So I did.
Did you do that with Katie?
Yeah, Katie Yellen.
Yeah.
And Downtown Vision. And so basically, I reimagined a basketball court, the Brooklyn basketball court in the Brooklyn neighborhood, and we did a mural for the whole court. And we kept it all about geometric shapes to kind of get kids to want to be active through sports and activity. And so that's how we were able to get that STEM in there. And so that was our first big project.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, I mean, you can look some of the photos, some of the drone shots, and it's like, oh,
that is really cool.
Can't believe like that is a legacy. That's a legacy. That's a legacy
I gotta
project.
look this up. You gotta send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now. Yeah.
What about the Iceman? Don't you have some kind of involvement with the Iceman?
Yeah.
Is there any more sports entities besides that, or
Yeah.
Let's unpack that. We're here.
Let's do it.
All right.
So let's see, what year was this? I was just finished Leadership Jacksonville. One of their partners, the Iceman's partners, was in my class. And so she was, wanting to help me out. Hey, maybe you can get your whiskey in the arena. Sure, I'm willing to talk to anybody. Yeah.
And the Igloo too. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I ended up sponsoring the team. And from that, I just built a great relationship with Andy Kaufman, who's the majority owner of the Zoya Sports and the Iceman. And so we built a really, really great relationship with his team, his family, and eventually I had the opportunity to invest in some of the sports teams. And so to date, I've invested in quite a few teams under the Zoya umbrella. So Savannah Ghost Pirates, Allen.
When the Savannah Ghost Pirates and the Jacksonville Icemen play each other, who do you root for?
All right. Both. That's what I'm sticking to. No, it's a fun one. So I will come to the game. One game, I'll go probably wear the opposite Nelia, just to kind of make like, damn, what are you doing? We'll be friends tomorrow, but right now, and so then the next game I'll wear the other. So it's pretty fun. So I'm kind of known for doing that, just to kind of make everything fun. So Savannah Ghost Pirates, Allen Americans in Allen, Texas, Greensboro Gargoyles, Greensboro, North Carolina, and then the Tahoe Night Monsters in Lake Tahoe.
Okay. Are all of those hockey teams?
All the hockey teams in the ECHL, which is the third division under the NHL.
Yeah.
So NHL,
it's like AA baseball.
Yep. Then and this is the one I was waiting for. Like I was waiting for this one. So I was able to also invest into the Upshot League. So I'm getting back to basketball. And if everyone's not familiar with Upshot League, it's a women's basketball league. The commissioner is Donna Orender, who was the former WNBA commissioner. And it's all about uplifting women's sports and the game of basketball. And so really excited about this one. So we start in 2026.
What is the fundamental difference between the WNBA and the Upshot League? Are they still competing for a trophy? Are they still vying for similar talent, trying to recruit, or draft women out of college? It's just like that.
Yeah, just like that. So we're going to be the developmental league, so we'll be under the WNBA, but going after the same group of women. So in a WNBA draft, there might be 1,000 women who are eligible for the draft. 80 might get drafted, maybe 20 might make the team. All right. And so it's from a women's possibility standpoint, it gives that atmosphere to where still you're going to get compensated very well. You're going to have great living arrangements. You're going to be able to compete at the highest level, still be able to try out and potentially get spots for the WNBA as well. So Donna's creating that relationship. It's going to be really good. So we've got some good talent coming into Jacksonville.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Really good.
I love how I said, is there anything I'm missing? And now we've created a whole second podcast episode over this stuff. You're out of this world, dude.
Oh man. I'm quiet and I'm like they call it a silent assassin.
That's it. Is it fair to say that it could be all of them? You could say all of them. I'm going to give you the out to say it, but Leadership Jacks, Leadership Florida, Hightower Fellowship, have these things changed your life? Would your life be different if you didn't do it? That's probably the best way to answer it. Because you made the relationship with the Icemen in Leadership Jacks. That's what led me to this question.
Yeah.
Would your life be any different had you not been able to participate in those?
I would say so. I would say it's definitely helped me, from that perspective. From an idea perspective, from just kind of like a cultural, what I'm looking for from an impact perspective, not so much, right? It actually just gave it more fuel, right? And so especially, Leadership Jacksonville, Leadership Florida, Hightower, wanting to having that background of wanting to help the community, wanting to be impactful in the community, and not just saying it on paper or look at me. A lot of stuff I do is behind scenes.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in the trenches creating that impact. But from a connection standpoint, from a networking standpoint, it's second to none. It's second to none. All three are great in their own way, and I highly encourage anyone to look into the programs. But there's so many. There's even some with the Jacksonville Chamber that they offer. With Jax Bridges, there's youth leadership Jax. There's some next up opportunities, and so just for people,
Jax USA partnerships and stuff like that.
There's so many opportunities, and so it's more so just kind of getting knowledgeable about them and seeing what's out there because they're beneficial.
Okay,
I direct benefit, so I support.
All right, all of this leads me to two questions.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're so ingrained in Jacksonville, you're probably uniquely qualified to answer them. Number one, what is Jacksonville doing exceptionally well for business owners, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs?
Great question. So this is something that I've been telling my friends about Jacksonville since 2011 when I graduated college. There's a lot of opportunity in Jacksonville. I tell them socially we may not be New York or LA, Houston, which pick city, right? But from a professional development, from a professional career standpoint, there's a ton of opportunity. And I give an example. If you're in Chicago, how much access do you have to the mayor? How can you get to the sheriff? How can you get to said representative? Just how can you get in these rooms in some of these big cities? And when I say Jacksonville, you have opportunity. You can be on boards, you can volunteer, you can cross paths with certain people. And so I'm a very, very big advocate of Jacksonville for that reason. But what is it doing for the business community? Especially like Jax USA, you'll see a lot of incentives to come to Jacksonville. I think that's huge, while kind of keeping our small town feel, but merging into that next style of innovation and being more forward thinking from a business perspective. The city does a lot for business owners. They want to see business owners succeed. Obviously, it's tough. It's tough on businesses. Just business in itself is tough.
Yeah.
But there are resources out there. So I don't want to get on the high horse and say, look at me, you can do it. I know how tough it is to run a business. But the city is, they're there to help. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've experienced it with my own eyes. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody who, I've heard this feedback a lot, that it's a good old boys network and you have to kind of find your own path outside of it. I feel like you've been relatively successful in this town. Do you feel that way? Do you feel it's a good old boys network, or do you think that anybody can win here?
I think both, actually. I think anyone can win here, but you have to have the right mindset, right? And so there is probably a good old boys. I won't even say probably. There's probably a good old boys network. But that doesn't mean you still you can't get access. You just have to find your lane, right? You have to find your way to penetrate or create your lane. So I've created my lane now to the point to where I get to be on boards and I get to do these things. And so there's always going to be a situation where the people who come before you, not necessarily gatekeep, but they can, monitor, see who's good. Okay, he's working really hard. I've heard about him, or I've heard about her. Invite them to a session. And so if you just kind of stay grounded and keep working day by day, make it into tomorrow, you turn the mindset, oh, it's a good old boy, I'll never. No. Be here, be available, so when it's time, your number's called. That's how I look.
Yeah. You have created your own lane, no doubt. You've created your lane so wide that every time I look at it, I see other people's cars trying to drive on it. You've created something that people just navigating towards.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, by the way. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So the flip side of this question is, we know what Jacksonville's doing well. How can we make Jacksonville better? How can Darrin and Randall, what can we do today and tomorrow to make Jacksonville better?
So I think this one is especially native, investing more into the to small businesses, investing more into education. Again, I'm from Jacksonville. I grew up on the west side of town. Just having that, there's certain side of town that has better schools, access to better things in schools, I would say, not better schools. So just creating that opportunity to where where the kids, they're not punished for, anything. Like give them some free opportunity, not free opportunity, but give them equal opportunities. That's what I would say for that piece. So education for sure, because obviously that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get into the STEM side, is to inspire the mind and plant that seed. But what you and I can do is what we're doing now. We're working and we're planting seeds as we're going. We're opening doors that we created the lane. We're opening the door and said, hey, come join, come be a part. Not everybody can have access to you because of that, because it's just not enough phone calls you can answer. You have to get to work. You have to do, we mentioned there's only so many hours in a day. So keeping that communication open so they don't think we become the good old boys. Because there's a time it's like, I tell my assistant, hey, can you respond to this? Can you handle that? So she's half the time writing a lot of stuff for me from a email perspective. And so it's getting to a point where you and I can continue to be wholesome, continue to be impactful, purposeful, full of intent, but being open to the community and letting them know, hey, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. That's the biggest thing I would say.
Okay. Educate people that opportunities exist if they can open their eyes a little bit.
Gotta have an open mind. It's a lot of crazy things going on in the world, and it's very easy to be discouraged and distracted.
Yeah.
But just kind of lean into your purpose.
Yeah. Get in the room.
Yeah.
Shake hands.
Yeah.
Don't have an agenda. Learn about what's out there. Find your purpose. Pursue it.
I always say when you get in those rooms, and I think I was taught this, always ask how you can help. That is probably the quickest way you'll get a response.
Yeah. Provide value.
A lot of value.
Yeah. 100%.
It's been dynamic for me.
I would say, what did we miss? But I feel like we probably missed 1,000 things.
Probably.
You and I don't know what I expected out of this, but I now know that you and I could talk for 3 hours.
Oh, for sure.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend an invite that you are a return guest.
Okay.
And let's work really hard for the next 6 months and see where we end up. And then let's come back and talk about it.
Let's do it.
Does that sound like a deal?
Deal. Done.
Cool. I end with gratitude. And I started this podcast because I wanted to give a light homage, whatever, to people who were building and pioneering in the city of Jacksonville. The things that were most important to me were, are you building something meaningful?
Yeah.
And are you providing an opportunity for people to go to work because of what you're building? Darrin, you are doing both. You are the reason somebody has food on the table. From me to you, I want to say thank you for that, but I want to thank you for building something in Jacksonville that people can look to, find inspiration in, and build themselves. For that, I really appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of Jacksonville. Thank you for being on the PB and Jax podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Very welcome, dude.
Thank you.